Israel-Hamas, a militant group from Gaza, launched an unprecedented attack on Israel over the weekend.
It began Saturday morning with a massive rocket barrage.
Hamas launched a surprise coordinated attack on Israel by land, air, and sea. And a senior official in Hamas said Saturday's attacks are only the beginning of the conflict, prompted an Israeli declaration of war, shocking the country and the world.
These past few days have been painful and devastating. The pictures of loved ones who are no longer with us, the endless parade of names of innocent brothers and sisters, injured, murdered, and missing, continue to break a heart that's been continuously broken. We lost entire families, a young mother running for mayor, a 4-year-old boy with a cheeky smile, beautiful, beautiful humans, so full of life and love, all brutally taken from us, all no longer. Some of my closest friends are right now in uniform, serving for the protection of innocent life. I'm scared that I may never see them again. I'm afraid that they may never see their families, their wives, and children again. The tears come upon us unannounced, undesired. They burn and choke. It's like living through a bad nightmare that never quite ends. I didn't want to say anything. I didn't have any words to speak. But after hearing some of what's been said, I feel that perhaps I must. What I'm about to say might seem painfully obvious to some, but in times of overwhelming pain, the obvious needs to be restated. Life is a precious treasure. It's not always easy, but precious nonetheless. All of life, be it human, animal, vegetable, mineral, and everything between, is precious, and the preciousness of life transcends all borders and boundaries. It's not influenced by the hue of one's skin, the complexion of their face, the country into which they were born, nor the creed which they profess. Life, in all of its very many forms and in every moment, is sacred and divine. When we gaze deeply into the eyes of the other, we can glimpse a reflection of the face of God. However, when we strip another of their humanity, we diminish that very face of God. When we inflict pain upon another, what we're doing is we're burning, bruising, bludgeoning, and banishing the face of God from our lives. The blood of our brothers cries out to us. To inflict violence upon another is to wound ourselves. We are one. We need each other. We are not whole without one another. Our very dignity, safety, and humanity are tied up in one another. To break the cycle of senseless, self-inflicted violence, we must learn to recognize the humanity in each other, to feel each other's pain and pleasure, to taste their tears of joy and sorrow, for they are not foreign to us. They are us. To my Jewish brothers and sisters, the rhetoric of calling the other subhuman, animals, satanic, or descendants of bygone enemies is not only factually incorrect and unhelpful, it's contrary to our Torah, which affirms the divine humanity of all people. It's also the very same language that has been used by anti-Semites for centuries to justify the persecution and murder of Jews. We shall not take tactics out of the textbooks of our enemies. When we dehumanize another human, we not only desecrate God's name, but we also jeopardize and undermine our own humanity. Yes, we are obligated to defend ourselves against those who come to kill us, and we must, and God so help us, we will. But we will fight equally hard to protect innocent life as we fight to eradicate those who would like to see us dead. As Jews, we are summoned to testify, Shema Yisrael, Adina Eloheinu, Adina Echad. Listen, Israel, and all those who struggle with the divine. God, who transcends all existence, who predates the dawn of time, and who will outlast its twilight, is the very same God who walks with us, who speaks the universe into being and breathes life into each moment. God beyond and God within are one. God is one. God who swirls the galaxies, who twinkles the stars, sculpts the moon and ignites the sun, who paints the earth and bathes the sea, who roots and nurtures trees and pollinates flowers, is the same God who shapes humanity and breathes life into all of its beautiful diversity, in Gaza as in Israel, in Russia and Ukraine, all the same. God is one. Therefore, let us love God in all of God's 8 billion manifestations, with all our hearts, with all our souls, and with all our might. To all of my brothers and sisters out there, we the people don't want violence. We don't want children of any color or creed to be murdered as pawns in a political game, pitting innocent lives against one another. We must speak up and tell the world what we want. We want to live in harmony with one another. We want to be able to live our lives, do honest work, and feed our families. We will not be defined by the most vile extremists amongst us, but by the thoughtful majority who love life and pursue kindness. If you don't believe me, please stop watching the news narratives that are incentivized to keep us scared, fearful, and divided, and speak instead to real humans on the ground. I hear it loud and clear from the dozens of people who reached out to inquire about my safety, to my Muslim brothers and sisters who, with broken hearts, cried and prayed together with us when they saw those heinous pictures and videos. On October 7th, the 22nd of Tishrei, on Simchat Torah, one of the most joyous days of the Hebrew calendar, on the 50th anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, vile hatred and violence struck a heavy blow, a massacre from which we're still reeling and haven't even truly begun to process, grieve, and mourn. But in those darkest moments, our collective humanity shone through. Thousands, unintimidated, stood up with love and strength to protect, volunteer, support, collect, pray, and sing, to inquire about the welfare of one another, to continue to believe and hope. Our collective humanity, undefeated, continues to shine through in ways that give us reason to continue believing, for it continues to shine. Now is the moment to be a light in dark times. Reach out to a friend, a stranger, a neighbor from across the divide. Ask them how they're faring. Let them know that you're there for them, standing by them, in good times as in bad times. Show the world that we will not be turned brother against brother and sister against sister. You have a voice. Raise it for peace, for humanity, for unity. Transform your darkness and pain into light, into kindness and care, for even the smallest of lights expels a tremendous amount of darkness. There is indeed an end to violence, an end to war, hatred, suffering, and even to death itself. It ends the moment we choose life. With love and unwavering hope, keep seeking.